Okay, 3 Marco 6, and it's the weekend. But I have to say, um, this could end up being a short session or a really long session. I have a new capture card, um, and I don't know if it's the age of the GPU or it's the new capture card, but I have been having driver dropouts in pre-testing. So as you can see, I had to change it, switch it down to square mode or 4:3 mode to match the output resolution or the bench resolution, basically 1280 by 1024. But let's see how we go. I'm getting all kinds of bench errors. Let's see if we can fix those. But what we can definitely fix is my thirst. So I'm just going to have a rosy sour ale. Well, Firefly is running, so that's good. I think it might just have been overheating. Uh, yeah. So first two GTs definitely seem to be running. Let's see how CT does. It's the weekend, guys. Let's wait for some people to come in here. Looks beautiful though. So yeah, here's the display drop out. D3D ERR device lost. Yeah, so if I go back to that resolution, everything's fine. I may just run the first two and see what score I get. I'm not I'm not worried about total score because obviously this card is way under cooled essentially. Just gonna update my beer command. There we go. That missing line break though. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's funny how streaming works sometimes. Um, I would have expected the later I stream, the better it is for the Europeans. I'm having some fruit and nut Cadbury's, by the way. Well, it's not. This is a nice GT, so this is when this car was launched 12 years ago. 12 and a bit years ago. Okay, we have a score. Let's see if we can unlock some crap here. Yeah. It's worth a try. Ah. Let's disable some cores. Well, yeah, we're not going to be running CTs, so let's disable some cores. Let's go down to 4. I had all this on just auto. Speed shift is off. Turn this off as well. Let's go 5. Ooh, 50. 5G at 1.45. It's probably too much, but 2900 XT. I might be running a bit more Heaven now that I realize that the resolution changes are a problem. Over temperature error? Come on. BS. Looks like my GPU is on fire. That's the lead. Might have to tighten my block a bit. 82 degrees. Alright, fair enough. You get to see live the temperature going down. Well, you can't see it because it's off screen. Alright, let's shut down the system. I didn't tighten my block too much earlier because it was causing board flex. pump is running, so how are you doing, White Track, by the way? So I was getting a ridiculous amount of board flex earlier, and that scared me a bit. This is my 3D board, so last clausur finished or today. So I have to find a way of tightening everything on here without flexing the board. Klausur for the non-German speakers is like an exam, I guess. I would call it an exam. Fuck. Why did I make these apexes so thin? Oh, here we go. One of them is really loose. Why did I make these apex boards so thin that you can't even tighten your block without being scared? I had so much flex earlier that when I put the board down on the bench table, there was probably about a 1.5 to 2 centimeter gap on one side between the spaces. So there was like, the board was down flat on here, and it was like 2 centimeters off of here. That's how flexed the board was earlier. And I didn't even realize it when I was tightening the block. But it usually doesn't take much to get good contact. At a certain point, you can drive the block so far into the CPU that it doesn't make a difference anymore. What I'm going to try after this is I'm going to try and run all 4 GTs and see if only the CT changes resolution, which actually I haven't run 06 in a while, but I suspect that's how it works. And then Heaven Basic sounds good to me. I have a lot to talk about. So Heaven Basic would be a good bench to run because it runs for so long. I also seem to be below the dew point, so I need to adjust my chillers as well. There's a bit of condensation on there. Yeah. See now there's flex again, but not as much as earlier. See that? That wasn't happening earlier. So just before. So that's just from the block being too tight on one side. Okay. Easy fix. Hi, Palazin. Haven't seen you around in a while. Hopefully you're doing fine. Okay. That still seems reasonably tight, but it's no longer flexing, I hope. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna adjust my chillers. Oh, we're booted up already. Uh, just gonna use the GPU Z sensor. I know it's probably not the best, but okay, 37 degrees. That's nice. Let's see if we really have 5G. Okay, some people are after coming in again. I'll just do a run. Actually, I'll do a run of all 4 GTs and see how that goes. Should be the same resolution. Usually GTs inside of a certain bench are all the same resolution. Just gotta watch out for the CTs. I don't even know if this card has SM3. I should probably check that. Okay. I did bump up the fan speed earlier on. I hope that this doesn't drop out because of temps, because the temp, the sort of auto fan speed on this car just isn't great. It can get too hot. Just unstock everything. Yeah. Okay. So SM3 is supported here. It's the middle score. Hold on, that's 05. Where's 06? Yeah, the middle score here. I don't know why we just had a weird display drop out. Okay, so what am I running right now? This is a 2900 XT. I think that was the top end card for a while. 12 years ago. Incredible. But DDR2 era, actually, in terms of system RAM. But why am I running this card, right? Well, there's a score that I'm really interested in. One score in particular. I'm not too sure actually if, I mean, it will take some time to beat it, but here it is. Two-way 03. 43 harbor points. And it was set on the 3rd of January 2008. So around the time, about, less than a year after the card was released. And it was set on, this is incredible, but it was set on dry ice Yorkfield quad core socket 775. It is DDR3 to be fair, could have been DDR2, and then diced on the cards as well. No rig pick. And the number 2 score is Papa Ramiro in February 2019, and he actually took the 06 score as well. So maybe to give a little bit of an overview, this generation of card was actually the very, very first card that worked. No, I'm bullshitting you. The second generation of cards that worked with the crossfire fingers. Where are we? The crossfire fingers on top here. Popa's cards. No. One card has a loose VMod, so I have to take the time, and it's a very delicate VMod, so I really want to take the time to fix it. So that doesn't post. I've got another card here. This is Bilko's, fully stock. And then I bought a card from a person on a forum in Australia, and I've tested it for just for that it functions. So here's, I may get to just swap over the heatsink later on, depending how far I get with the testing. This is literally the first time I run a 3D load through these cards. Um, I may just swap the air cooler onto this card later for binning purposes, but we'll have to see. So this is what it looks like. Now there are two crossfire fingers, but that's not for 3 and 4 way. Don't confuse that. It's not for 3 and 4 way. It's just for extra bandwidth. I don't know if it does anything. I'll have to test that obviously before I take my cards cold. But this score, this 2008 3D Mark 03 two-way score on these cards is literally the reason I bought a second fat pot, a second kingpin pot. Yeah, I won't be able to bin on air. I know. That's why I'm saying I probably won't get to it. I'm going to test LOD, um, I don't know, all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I'll test LOD, I'll test what system stuff it likes, I'll test drivers and stuff. I want this to be a chill out stream, hopefully maybe in this sort of 3 to 4 hour range. So I'd rather just do stuff slowly, talk a lot, maybe go on to Heaven Basic and just loop Heaven Basic for a while and stuff. Um, I just, let's have a look. It looks like it has a 6, some sort of a, there's a dividing line though, so it might be 4 plus 2. Can you see the chokes? The 4 bottom chokes are all connected with some sort of weird heatsink or something. And, well, it actually looks like a 4 plus 2 plus 1. I don't know what that is, but you can see here the 4 at the bottom, then a 2, and another 1. But then there's another VRM up here. I'm not very good at VRMs. I can tell you that much. Um, no matter how big or small my Twitch stream and my YouTube channel get, I'm not going to do VRM breakdowns. That's Billzoid's game. All I can tell you visually is it looks like a 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, but fuck me, I don't know. But my point being, I would suspect, given how high of a TDP this card has, that if I put just a Chinese uni block on here, I'll have some trouble trying to cool the VRM. So it's kind of, yeah, the core won't go as far on air, but at least I won't blow out the VRM. I probably don't even have voltage control anyway. So let's save this score with the driver. I'm on 9.12, which should be a decent-ish driver for 06. I was looking at analyzing some results earlier. And yeah, for anyone joining later, it might be the card, but it might also be my new capture card. I was having display dropout issues on full HD, so I just have set the desktop res to the res of the bench. But I'm also excluding the CPU tests, which I don't really care about too much. That is a separate issue, separate thing to bin for, not bin for, test for. So what are we talking here? It was a 4.9K plus 5K. Okay, so scoring roughly the same. Next, I'll just go up in frequency a bit. GPU or CPU frequency. Should easily be able to do like 5.2, but let's do 5.5. Let's do 5.2 first. Freudian slip. Okay. So let's see what Tech Power Up says about this card. 215 watt TDP. DirectX 10, obviously, yeah. So that's right. I can do some Vantage runs as well. Dual slot. Ooh, there's even a listing for L2 cache. GDDR3. I do have a Pro card. So this is a little bit funny because here we have an XT and here we have a Pro, same heatsink and everything, right? I'll show you the back of the XT without the cooler. It's easier. Here we have the back of an XT. There's RAM chips there, right? Here's the back of the Pro. No RAM chips. So even though HyperBot HyperBot only gives one ranking for the Pro. I may even throw the card in later actually. HyperBot only gives one ranking for the Pro. I suspect it has a different width bus or something. Like there's something going on there. So I thought, well, Bitco misinformed me and told me that the Pro was the same as the XT, just like same core, same everything, just maybe it's sort of like a lower bin or something. So 256-bit, 512. Yeah. So the bus, it's the bus. Makes sense. Half the number of GDDR chips and half the bus width. And just to show you again, so this is what it looks bare, XT. This is the Pro bare. And then they went to the trouble of putting in a backplate, which back in those days wasn't as popular as it is now for just looks. So they have a backplate there to cover the back side of the XT. Let's see if it actually says it on the sticker. Now, what about capacity? So 512 and 512. Yeah, but then let's just look at the whole HD 2000 family. We've got time. So the popular card was the 512 megabytes, and then there was which is GDDR3, and then there were two versions of the 1 gigabyte card, GDDR3 and 4. So that's actually the fastest card, I would imagine. Well, it just wasn't overclocked as much, but just looking at the stock clocks are higher, more capacity, but it just wasn't overclocked as much. But this one was. But then there is a 512-bit version of the Pro, just with lower stock clocks. So when I bought this card, I got doubly unlucky actually, because I bought it, the listing said XT, I bought it in the US, so I can't really return it. listing said XT, but I mean the pictures didn't show the differences. Bought it, shipped it here, it works, but it's not an XT, it's a Pro. And if it had been a Pro 512-bit, then I would have still been okay in running it for Crossfire and stuff. Anyway, that's a lot of preamble. Let's go back to a run. Another card that is kind of interesting to run is this 2600 XT GER3. Not as many points though. I mean, decent. So we just scored identically. Let's see if we can push the memory a bit. Just run the render tests. These cards do run hot, don't they? So a couple of things changed about my stream tonight. There's a new capture card, and why do I have a new capture card? Because it supports 240 Hertz. So I'm hoping that will let me run some of the legacy stuff. I mean, obviously on this setup, legacy should score about the same through the capture card. But if you're talking sort of GTX 1080, 980 Ti, the frames per second are so high that the latency induced by the capture card is relevant. So yeah, I'm hoping to potentially be able to avoid that with the 240 Hertz pass through. Besides the fact that 240 Hertz actually scores better as well in some benches, in some situations, on some cards. Of course, your card has to support that, and your monitor. And I'm also streaming in 8 megabits per second today. So sort of the officially published bandwidth limit for Twitch is 6 megabits, but they allow quote-unquote 8. So since my internet is fast enough for that, fuck it, let's give it a try. And it seems to be running fine. So how's everyone enjoying Team Cup so far? Hey Kix. Welcome to OCN. I saw you join today. Thanks for joining the stream. Give me a follow if you enjoy this content. I'm currently overclocking an insanely old GPU. If you want to see the details, just go !rig. Yeah, I really am running a 12-year-old GPU. But it does support CloudGate. I might run that later, actually. At the moment, I'm just running 3 Mark 06 GTs. And I'm trying to remember. I think this may have been the last. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this may have been the last card to have XT in its name until the 5700 XT. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was a 3000 series XT. What's up with this display changed? What? I'm not sure about that. Let's just 60 hertz seems okay. Let's try 75 actually, see how that goes. Probably really badly. Okay. Alright, let's just give her a reboot. Oh wow, first time LN2. That's a special time. Enjoy it. Do you have any idea what platform you're gonna bench on LN2? Oh man. Okay. Let me try something here. New capture card, remember? Okay. That is more reasonable. 60 FPS. One second, guys. It is a new capture card after all. Give me my display back. Okay. Yeah, 75 hertz was not a good idea. Okay, so back to 60 hertz. Oh yeah. I spoke too soon, obviously. Yes, alright. So 800 did pass, or well, did it pass? Let's just do another run. Or it was 900, wasn't it? I should untick that reset display mode. That screws with stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Okay, no resetting the display mode. This is why I don't bench Legacy 3D on stream, but alright. So $11.51 and 2011. Maybe 1366 and 1156. Don't do too much. What's up with all this display mode resetting? Okay, we'll see if it passes. Okay, 11:56. I haven't run cold. Okay, while we can, let's quit that. And let's go back to stock clocks. How do I... let's put in a more aggressive profile. We want about 50 fan at all times. And once it gets a little bit hot, we want more. Okay, maybe a little bit less fan than that. All right, another stock run. That looks better. Yeah, let's not mess with the memory. Okay, so what I was on was, after all that, a card that had XT in the name. I don't think there was such a thing as, yeah, there's no 3000 series XT. There was definitely not a 4000 series either. Well, the core was called XT, but that doesn't count. So yeah, the 1000 series had XTs in it, like 1600 XT. Yeah, so they had a big break. Okay, so in terms of platforms, I've run 1366. Would you know, quick Mew, do you know which version of 1366, like Bloomfield or Gulftown? Because I've run Gulftown, but not Bloomfield. Bloomfield is kind of weird with cold bugs and stuff. But I guess the people you're hanging out with will know how to run that stuff because that's tricky. But Gulftown is kind of hard too because it's triple channel. Out of the platforms you list, I would say IVE is probably the easiest to run. 1151 has problems with cracks. So yeah, out of all of those platforms, um, if you can run Ivy Bridge E, I would definitely recommend Ivy Bridge E as a good start to cold overclocking because you can full pot it. Yeah, it's a quad channel setup, but if you've got Sammys, it should be fine. What's up with these display dropouts? Seriously. So I'm being really disgusting and having southern fried chicken Pringles. 1151 has problems, period. That's a very good way of putting it, White Shark. No, like I said, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Ivy Bridge E. The only thing is I always use a socket heater. So trying to see if I have a loose contact or something. I'm just Really, it's normal on this card because I've run '06 plenty of times and I haven't had display dropouts at stock. Yeah, the Black Edition is an amazing board. A really amazing board. I have one right here. Um, I just pulled it. Uh, since you mentioned Black Edition, amazing board. I wonder why they felt the need of putting 10 SATA ports on it though. It's so heavy, it's such a nice color scheme and stuff. I was running that for Dogpile earlier, for Team Cup. Ooh, okay. How come the score is so much lower? Okay, that's set. Our GPU clock's reset, I'm guessing, to 500 for some reason. Okay. Yeah, Kicks, I kind of want to run quad channel DDR3, but on cold. But I'm very hesitant to insulate my Black Edition. That's only for run the first two GTs actually. Yeah, Bulland ran 3820, i7 3820. Was worth quite a few points. That chip is so funny. I used to have one. You basically have to run 130 plus BCLK to get clocks. Maybe not the best bench, right? I'm not a big fan of. Oh yeah, time for Heaven Basic. Now, 1280 by 10. Okay, it's the same resolution. Let's give it a go. Weird. Now it's happier to run at full HD. But I won't complain. Gotta see those FPSs. Yeah, I don't see. I'm not interested in Ryzen 3000. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good benching platform. It's worse to run on cold. And hey, unsolicited advice. How are you doing? So apparently you're going to TwitchCon. I'm currently benching a 12-year-old GPU. You bought a ticket. Nice. Where's it at? Yeah, that's right. All of those cons are in California and Vegas, aren't they? Star Trek Con was in Vegas. Um, TwitchCon is in San Diego. Uh, the big Google developer con or whatever it's called is in San Francisco, I think. Sounds like fun though. Oh no, their burner is on the front page. Not a single stage. Oh, dice. So this person has taken a leaf out of Roman's book and called himself Der Burner, and he's now on the front page. Fair enough. Wow, a mobile Sandy SuperPi run is on the front page. Gotta check that out. You're on the front page, okay. Um, Forks? Is that you? GPPi 1B, and it's version 3.3. Yeah, that's gonna get moved. But good effort nonetheless. So let's have a look at this. A 29 point. Yeah, the submit tool is buggy. Don't use the submit tool. Okay, our run is done. 700 points. I've never seen a heaven score as low as this. And certainly not coming out of a 215 watt card. That is actually somewhat incredible. Okay, let's up our core at least. I don't know what's going on with these display dropouts. And now I've got double vision. Let's just run a quick render test. And it's all reset itself. Tan cup on LN2. Yeah, that's a surefire way of subbing the wrong thing. Knowing you're subbing the wrong thing. Okay, let's see if we can get a 790 run out at least. Maybe it's time for an older driver. What's everyone else running? So for Heaven single card, it's not extreme. It's can it run Heaven extreme? on 9.12. All right, I can do extreme, but where's our basic? That's a slow ass extreme run. 11.5 FPS, nice. Yeah, Catalyst 13.1. Stuff in that sort of region is probably better. Let me see what I can come up with. Let's first check what I have on this stick. I've got 13.4 XP, 13.9. What do we actually want though? .4 is popular. Okay, let's download 13.1 while we're DDUing it. They get moved, but you can move it yourself. Well, the moderators need to move them. Don't worry about it. Hi, Scoops Row. Welcome. We're doing a bit of 3D overclocking today for a change. The great thing about Guru 3D is that they have everything. Sometimes the links are broken, but 64-bit is what we want. Yeah, 2500K. Download incomplete. All right, where's our mirror? All right, what I said, sometimes the links are dead, so file hippo can be good sometimes. Yeah, the 2500K. I don't know what happened to my OS. I mean, actually, I didn't submit 32M. I just put in a 1M run. Okay, let's copy that over somehow. Vista could actually be a good operating system for this card. It might score better. But I haven't been crazy enough so far, or bored enough so far to actually make a Vista install. Yeah, the display drop. Knock on wood, but the display dropouts really seem to be improving now. So it might have been the driver, or maybe it just needed a reinstall. Ah, look at all that crap. I think the secret is don't install the driver, and then you don't get display dropouts. Let's give it a restart just to be sure. So heavy, these things. F6. That's a weird display, or a weird postcode to be showing. Yeah, OS optimization is a never-ending story. So let's make sure, yes, we've got our catalyst showing up in GPU-Z. We have render test working. We have the card not cooperating. Either that or maybe I need to disable ULPS, but I don't know if ULPS really was a thing on this generation. Let's see. Is that a hang? How could I even test it? I'd have to run something in window mode. While that runs, I'm getting another beer. Be right back. Did I miss any display dropouts? So this beer is called South Pacific Dream, a South Pacific Pale Ale, whatever they mean by that. Every beer I drink is Aussie. I don't drink any foreign beers. Well, abroad I do, but you know, seems better. 29 FPS seems faster as well. I don't know a single person who likes to drink Fosters, so yeah. I have a theory when it gets to comes to beer. So I think the worst beer of a certain country is always the one that gets exported the most. So Foster's is terrible, so that's what gets exported the most. In Ireland, it's Guinness. In the UK, it's I'm trying to think of a bad UK beer. Probably can't think of one, but in France, it's the 1669 beer. In Spain, it's Estrella, Estella, something like that. In Germany, it's probably like Krombacher or um, Beck's, which are terrible beers. In the Netherlands, it's Amstel. In the US, it's Bud Light, all that kind of stuff. Coors Light. You can keep going. I mean, in China, it's Tsingtao. In Bali, it's I can't remember the name of it. Well, there's also a ton of good beer in the US. So you know, pros and cons. Well, yeah, it's Friday night for me, so I'm allowing myself a beer or two. Yeah, Guinness is good. There's nothing wrong with Guinness, but it's in my opinion, it's the worst stout to come out of Ireland. So there's Murphy's and Beamish in Ireland as well, and they're better in my opinion. Don't drink anymore. Come on, gotta have some kind of advice in your life. Yeah, people love hoppy beers. This is a South Pacific ale though, so nice and light, a little bit fruity. Yeah, heroin is shouldn't joke with that stuff. Beer, I don't mind. So that was a 763. I don't know where my other result went. So let's go a lot actually, if we can. We should have ATI tool here. No, that's right. It's just off screen. 25 is usually pretty good for Heaven. Let's see if ATI tool will work for us. I'm ready to give up on it after Burner didn't seem to be really setting anything. Hmm. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, well, we can do a lot run anyway. And we can also go up a bit, just in case that makes a difference. There we go. That's a proper lotted run of heaven. You can't fucking see anything anymore. No, that's not the V core I need, but that's just the V core I'm happy with. I don't, you know, I have enough cooling, so I don't mind setting that V core. For light benches like this, I go up to about 1.525. LLC, I can. I think it's just auto. RuneScape. It's a nice bench to look at, though. I wish I could do a proper overclocking on the card. Maybe I should try tricks or something. Yeah, yeah, that is true about aces. Oh yeah, that's definitely worth a try. Thanks for the tip. I'm getting a nice heating from the back of the card here. Is anyone going to watch the Rugby World Cup starting in less than 2 weeks? Probably a long shot, but I'll be watching it. Yeah, Aces is solid, but there is kind of an Aces tax. So for someone looking for $100 motherboard, I wouldn't recommend Aces. But for someone looking for a $200 motherboard, yeah, probably Aces. I mean, you can't really go wrong. I don't know. I suppose for the ultra budget stuff you can, but I've never really had any massive problems with motherboards. For daily stuff, for benching, it's a completely different ballgame. Okay, 785. That changed something. Let's... Okay, one more run. Famous last words, I know. Let's go 5.4. Yeah, hello, CPU-Z. Sometimes CPU-Z is a bit slow. Yeah, there we go, 5.4. And pop up the encore bit. Make sure that applied. Yes, it did. And we'll make it profile. I've expressed my opinions about VRMs before on this channel, but I gladly reiterate them that I just don't think VRMs matter anymore. I think, yeah, obviously the stunned aces pulled was it was kind of dodgy, but at the end of the day, no one's VRM is going to blow up anymore. AIM 3 was the last platform where you could really have that issue, I reckon. I don't know. I run my VRMs without heatsinks and without airflow. Sometimes even on LM2 with just like that. And I've never had a problem. I'm liking this beer. Fireball. Hasn't happened to me, so, you know. Okay, 9900K on MOCF. The thing about that is the 9900K literally is twice the size as the chips that the MOCF was built for. So when the MOCF was released, they didn't design it for anything bigger than a 6700K. And 6700K is 4 cores, 8 threads, and the 9900K is 8 cores, 16 threads. And you've got a hard motherboard for that to work. So if somebody hard mods a motherboard and then runs it without airflow, without VRM cooler, and then complains about the VRM blowing up, then yeah, they shouldn't. They really, really, really shouldn't. So 6700K was a 91 watt TDP. Not that TDP really means that much. 4 gigahertz, 4.2 boost, and the 900K is 3.6 and 5 boosts and a 95 watt. Something's wrong there. 4 cores aren't 4 watts. Yeah, of course they lowered the base frequency, but and they've gone from 14 nanometer to 40 nanometer plus 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 plus. But yeah, it's basically twice the chip, pretty much twice the chip. Only saving grace is the 9900K is soldered. So an undiluted 6700K with really crap stock paste, like a really bad contact. Maybe it ends up being only 4 watts less hot. M9A, oh, so you hard monitor your M9A? So we got a little bit out of that Encore and stuff, which is kind of surprising. Probably just run-to-run variants. At least our display dropouts are gone, so I'm liking this driver. So we started at 739, then we had a 785, now we have a 788. What's our maximum at? That's reasonable. Let's push the RAMs a bit. What made you buy a 9700K? Are you a gamer? Because I have it because I just need a legacy chip, so hyper-threading is completely irrelevant. But for daily stuff, I would have thought that people prefer the 9900K because it's better for productivity and stuff. Come on, bias. Okay, so that's VR4000. Just gotta tighten the RAM now. Yeah, I'm not really liking these display dropouts, to be honest. How cheap? €100 or US dollars? That's pretty good. Yeah, flashing back the management engine can be tricky sometimes, can't it? Let's not mess around too much with the timings. I have so many spare Dim.2 cards. I'd probably flip the post display. Make it easier for everyone. Is that better? It's September, by the way. If anyone feels like subbing, it's half price until the end of the month. A9 means entering BIOS. I think it flips to A6 on this board once it's actually in BIOS. Yeah, half price gift subs would be pretty OP. Okay, so Why is it hanging on A9? That's really weird. All right, let's let it go all the way down through to Windows 7. Overclocking on RGB components because they look pretty. Oh wow, 702T, that's pretty bad. RGB RAM is actually the fastest RAM in the world right now, so it's a fact. RGB makes things faster. Yes, we're actually going to get signal this time for a brief, fleeting moment. What's not really? 6 gigahertz was done on RGB. The current RAM overclocking record is on RGB. So here we go. 6016 gigahertz. And it was done on Trident Z Royal. World record right here. Top RAM speed. There you go. RGB. High class RGB RAM. Meanwhile, we seem to be boot looping in some sense. There you go. It's proven RGB stuff is faster. That's why I put my RGB lights on. You have a kit of that in silver. Okay, let's end this boot loop. I mean, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm not putting on what's his face. Bitwin. That was a good record, though. I enjoyed it, seeing that finally fall. What the hell is 3E? Hey, ground. Just running a bit of ancient 3D and looking at the recent memory world frequency record. Oh, that's a bit redundant. Memory record. I'm on my second beer. Excuse any issues with how I express myself. Yeah, well, okay. I'm used to the Ryzen timings where you have an extra middle timing. On Intel, you only have, well, on this board at least, you have one bias setting to set the two middle timings. So did you also have a clausur today, ground? There we go, that's a post. I'm feeling like Vantage after this. P5E3 is a DDR3 LGA 775 board, I'm assuming. Okay, that's a post. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Asus DDR2 for, well, I have a formula, but to be honest, I like Gigabyte for that. Oh yes, 4000 C12. 1060 is good. That's a post or a boot. Let's just load up our Heaven profile, even though it's kind of pathetic, but you know. That's the one. It's got a bugged DRAM voltage. Okay, gotta make a new profile then. Not going to be able to run 4000 C12 at 1.2 VDDR. So I guess you and QuickMu are going to have a Team Cup session in a couple of weeks' time. Just doling out a few VIP badges. 150 liters, okay. So that's your allotment, and what is everyone else going to use for cooling? I mean, if you're going to do it right. A million liters. I mean, 35 liters per person is decent for a weekend. That's probably what I would go through in a heavy weekend. So, I mean, 2D, of course, 3D, you can do that in an hour if you really want, if you're really trying. But yeah, 35 each is decent. A million liters. That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah, fuck HETT. But I did hear you were gonna run 1366. That's technically HETT, isn't it? Just from another generation. Are you gonna run full code from M frequency? I'm gonna be subbing that too probably, but I won't get anywhere near what you're probably gonna produce. As cold as it gets. Solder cracked. Shit. That sucks. Was that your best IMC? 2800 air from dry ice. Um, I mean, on a full pot capable platform like AM3, it's huge. But it all depends. Haswell, let's say, or the stuff that Ground likes to bench, Bloomfield, those kind of platforms, dry ice will do fine. You're talking 2800 LN2 on the sticks, I'm guessing, or LN2 on the IMC, or both. Okay, interesting that you get scaling out of it like that. Is this still the 1 gigabit GDI or whatever it's called, SAMI stuff? Okay. I think I have 6 sticks, but I have no idea how good they are. Single rank BBSC. Well, that gave me 1 point. Where's my vantage at? I'm ready for some vantage. Same resolution. That works out well. Best ever. Yeah. Well, Vantage. I have a love-hate relationship with Vantage. It's such a long bench, but it's also kind of unique. So yes, 13 FPS. I love it. Oh, what GPU do you run it on? After this, I'm going to look at Riva Tuner. Try for Lumi. Try beating Lumi. 2080 Ti. Three FPS. I love it. So this is the score you're talking about beating. Is that? It's just a weird skin on XP, but it's kind of funny. So 675 isn't insane. But of course, 671 BCLK is kind of ridiculous. On a Rex. Thanks to Yoko. Without Waza. So if you beat him, he's going to come back with Waza. Is my prediction. Alright, let's go back to this beautiful GT. So it seems to be driver dependent, this dropout stuff. I'm really not seeing it anymore on this one. So what's this PLL mod you're talking about? On older generations of Intel, usually lower PLL means lower code bugs. So you're saying there's a mod to reduce PLL on the motherboard, a hard mod? Alright. Giving out the secret. It's not a secret. It's a pretty open secret. Too many. So we're now at 1 minute 40 in this bench, and there's another minute to go. So GT2 on its own is 2 minutes 40, which is kind of insane. Heaven is longer, but Heaven is sort of like a single GT bench, so that's different. What I'm going to do after this run actually is just do straight up, just do another run with Tess off. As far as I'm aware, if no one else knows, well, if someone else knows, I'd appreciate an answer on this. But because it's DirectX 10, there's not much you can do on ATI cards with Vantage. So DirectX 9 and before you can set LOD. DirectX 11 you can set tessellation off, but DirectX 10 you can't do anything on AMD cards as far as I can see. I'm still going to test with Tess off though, just out of curiosity. No. Give me a score, damn it. Okay. Well, that's great. No, not NV Inspector. You're a tuner, isn't it? What's even available in this old catalyst we've got here? Ooh, Smooth Vision HD. Maybe this is the answer. Fuck it, let's overclock in here. I don't care. Whatever works. I can't press accept. So the render trace doesn't seem to work, but as long as, well, it should show up down here. It's just not kicking into those clocks. Okay, let's just go really high and run heaven, and then we'll see if it really applied. Excuse me. Yeah, that really applied because it hung. So all right, Riva Tuner 2.24C. Let's do less. Let's do 825. Any luck with 42 nanometer Intel? You mean Bloomfield? I assume you don't mean 775. I have a ton of chips. I have a shit ton of chips, but I haven't done any binning. But I will bin them for Dogpile, maybe? Okay, so 850 was too much. Let's do 830 or 825, 27. I'll show you what I have. 1 second. Oh, that's running. Okay, let's make that. I don't care about sharing my batch numbers. So you asked about 3918. Closest thing I have is a 3911, and it's 3910. Yeah, at a glance, it looks like my Bloomfield stuff is all too early. It's all 30s. Yeah, it's a bit too. The Xeon might even be the closest thing. I need more chips. Even my W, as my run crashes. That looked like it was almost gonna run though, so let's go down 10 megahertz maybe. Better luck with 3918, then 3845. Yeah, I have nothing in that. Unless I'm misreading the IHSs, maybe all of these are 38s. Because 0 and 8, I don't know if my eyesight is going away or something, but I can't distinguish 8s and 0s on Intel IHSs to save my life. So, oh, there's a 3941. Nah, that's not no good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So we're 31 FPS now. It's the really high numbers. Well, I'll bin them all for X265 and then we'll see. Gotta sub them for Dogpile anyway, so. Let's have a look at Team Cup. Um, so Overclock.net is leading in 3 out of 4 categories, but Warp 9 is first overall. And I'm really impressed with Team Hardware Reactor. They have put out some incredible scores. Let's look at DDR1 actually, while his run is hopefully finishing. Heaven Basic is kind of a throwaway stage. It's fun, but it's all down to just running as many HD 6000 series cards through DDR1 platforms as possible, 939. I haven't looked into the O1 stage actually, or the AGP. Cinebench is just all quad cores, but where's our what I really wanted to look at was DDR2 actually, the 32M stage. Let's just get our run going here. So that was very close to finishing. Let's go down another 10. So these guys, I think they definitely had 2 goals. I don't know about the third. What's this one? 14th rank, but it's only on Chiller. And I mean, it's on a crosshair too. And yeah, but the other 2 are golds, so that's incredible. And actually, Bullshooters is a socket record. So if you look for 32Ms on AM2, it should come up first. Where's our socket? Being knocked by 10 seconds, which is pretty insane. I mean, 4.1 on that platform is already really good, and then getting over 1,000 RAM speed. Yeah, Nox's score is really good as well. What's incredible to me though is these 100 WinRAR scores in DDR1. That's dedication. And I think it's just two people doing it. Stinger and Mikolai. I didn't even know there were 100 different DDR1 chips. So they're not. I don't think they're even going into socket 775 that much. It's just mostly like 478 and well, there's an E in here, but 939. So we're on C2012. And Splave put out a new HT 5870 score, which is basically almost 100% overclock, so that's pretty insane. He already had the gold there, so it was just putting out another score. Um, Not much else. I mean, Mushrooms are always one to watch. I'm not really sure even where they've subbed. One score here on Cascade. I don't know if they're going to be a factor. I mean, it's hard to catch up at this point. If we look at the overall standings, it's sort of like let's do it like this. Past those first four teams, there's a big drop off. I'm assuming this is a triple channel score. Come on, Chrome. Yeah, I mean, for triple is really good. So now we've broken the 800 mark, so that's always good. Definitely saving that. So time to push the mems. Uh, Just gonna get Riva Tuner ready. Yeah, I think I've seen this pick before. Uh, Kind of nasty for a solar chip. So I think trying to remember what the overall frequency record is for 1366. Yeah, I mean 3200 single channel, that's not that far away from 2800 triple. So that's pretty impressive. Two dead cores. Nice. Looks like this might pass. I do have, I'm trying to remember now, I think I do have a Papa card um, with the VMod on it. One of these 2900 XTs. I think this driver may not have a way to disable tessellation, and that's a problem with Extreme. Um, is that maybe why people go with newer drivers? Let's have a look again. So Extreme people go like, well, I'm on 1311, I think. I just couldn't find it. Okay, that dropped performance for some reason. Let's try and get a Vantage result out. That FPS. Oh, here come the display dropouts. And artifacting. Oof. 5 FPS at the end. Holy shit. That's rough. So what does everyone think about the Geekbench 5 slash Benchmade controversy? Psych. If anyone has any money, specifically $2,400 burning a hole in their pocket, you can just buy this card. I mean, he's right, it's a world record card, but the thing about it is it doesn't really have any resale value as soon as there's a new card out. Because someone trying to use this for compute doesn't want plastic dip all over it and a VMod and stuff. So yeah, he's trying to recoup his costs with 2.4K. Not sure about that. Nice looking card though. And well done to him for being able to get all that performance out of that card. It's not, from all I've heard, it's not an easy card to run and mod. I love this spaceship section. I didn't mean to run the CPU test, but okay. May as well. So we do have a GPU score now. It's kind of low, but let's record it for posterity anyway. So most guys are running like over 1,000 memory, so let's at least try to get sort of in the 950 region. Oh, okay. That's the end of the slider. Uh, So what I wanted to look at was this weird sandy mobile result on the front page. I'm going to compare it to second place. Okay, I think I'm missing something here. Did that guy sub 1M as 32M? Yep. Okay, that's a report. Mystery solved. Uh, I'm sure he produced that score, but he has to obviously attach the relevant screenshot. Oh, Boulant ran 3930K on water. So high VCLK to obviously get the QPI up, maybe? The RAM is pretty pleb status. I mean, 8.11.7 is nice for PSC, but 12.14 is pretty standard for Sandy. No, I'm not saying it's a cheat. No, I mean the person subbed an 11-minute something score, and people don't usually make up scores just out of thin air. I'm sure that person actually has a score, but you know how it is sometimes. I mean, I use a screenshotting utility and I rename the file every time, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just have 20 screenshots called screenshot 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 20. And all it takes is for you to attach screenshot 19 instead of 20, and then there you go. But that's why when a score is reported, it doesn't get pulled, and it's there's an issue with it. There's actually an issue with it. It doesn't get pulled straight away. The person who submitted the score gets a chance to react. What's this? Yeah, time for a bit of Riva tuner. Whatever. Okay, I might have to run it as. Yep, sounds good. Reboot. Yeah, it's past midnight here. F6 means boot. Okay, let's do admin. Okay, I don't know what any of this means. I'll actually run CloudGate just to see what happens. Is there really no tessellation? I like how it actually just suggests CloudGate because nothing else would run on it. Fair enough. You've convinced me. Thanks all of you for joining. As always, it's been a fun stream. I wonder what resolution CloudGate even runs in. Oh wow, 30 FPS. I'm impressed. I want to slap the second card in here actually, out of curiosity. Thankfully, I have a few crossfire bridges lying around. I'm not sure I have enough power connected though. Whew. 7,200. I don't know if that's a good score or not. That's actually not an insane amount away from the first place. Almost be this guy. 830,000. So here we had a GT of 7,100. Let's just rerun. Maybe I should run 03 at the end of this, just to see what high FPS looks like. Well, that's a definite no. Yeah, I want to run GT1 2003. More than anything at this point, really. Will we need D3 D overrider? Probably not. Should probably get rid of 11. Doesn't run on this hardware anyway, so. Yeah. Well, this is public domain by now, so. Let me just switch away for a second. Will I open my little box of tricks? I'm just going to run GT1. So anyone who's unfamiliar, no, splash GT1 only. That's the basic setup. Oh, you can't see the FPS. It is over 1,000. Okay. Well, it is DirectX 7. That's unfortunate. Let's see if we can fix that. So the thing about this is these clocks are high enough that maybe we can start working on CPU clocks and stuff and see how that goes. So single card 1.5K is the top score on LN2 with Ivy at 6. But two-way it's 1.4. Be nice to be able to get like 1.4 plus. .1. Let's do the obvious thing and add a bit of oomph here. What was I doing running other benchmarks? Clearly 03 is the benchmark of kings. So right here is the well, isn't it here 2.4K? That's important. On a modern card that would be a 10K on ambient. Oh, there's a second. So here's the two-way run. 1427. So 1100. Okay. We should really be able to do 5.6. Well, let's up our encore first. So we almost had 2.5K there, so that's looking a bit faster. And now the second peak, six frames away from 2.5K, so that's nice. Getting these cards to clock will be interesting, though. I can tell already. Okay, let's save that just to have something to compare against. What was it? 11:10. Let's do 5.5. Let's do best out of 3, or maybe average out of 3. Let's see. Peak was around the same. Yeah, second peak around the same. Let's do best out of 3. 11:12. You can test priority and affinity as well. Looks like a slower run. Yeah, 11:04. Yeah, 14:60. That's a slower run again. Might need a restart or something of the bench. Yeah. Okay. Let's restart the bench and try 5.6. Obviously, what else is there to do? Okay, that needs a bit more V-core. That's hardly surprising. So many people in chat. Thanks all for showing up. F6, the magic code. Okay, let's go to 1.525. Well, actually, let's stay at 5.5 and 5.5 gigahertz and do affinity and priority. Ooh, 2.3. That's really bad. Not even getting over the 2.4. Okay. So now back down to normal. Okay, 2.46. Yeah, okay. It didn't like real time. In Team Cup, Overclock.net, my team is currently second by a tiny amount. A really, really, really tiny amount. Like 9 points out of 1,100. Something like that. Oh, it's more now. It's like 20 something points. Yeah, 29 points behind, but of course there's still stuff to go in, subs to go in. Okay, we're back to 1104, which is roughly where we want to be. Now let's go affinity on the last two cores. And my former team, PC Overclocking, is also very much in the running. 8th. So yeah, only 32 teams currently placing. That's a bit of a shame, but certainly it's between the top four. Should be a good score. 1106. Yeah, not amazing. Let's give it 3 runs. Hurricane Canucks doing quite well for what they are. I finally found my bench. Nicely consistent. Another 1104 run. 2.46, yeah. It's almost like the third digit is the fourth digit of the score. So when it's a 6, it's an 1106. When it's a 9, it's an 1109. That sort of thing. Okay, 3 1104s in a row. That's all I needed to see. Very curious to see scaling up 1 though. And for that we need a bit more juice. No pass. Okay, time to test a little bit of LOD. Let's start with 3. Alright, no post. I think I'm going to have to leave it at that. It is 1:45 at night. But thanks all for watching. Obviously, slightly new platform tonight with some issues. But I think next week will be 2D. And it'll be a familiar 2D platform, so we can get right down to it. Maybe Sandy or something like that. But thanks for watching, and you know, if you like what you see here, subscribe because it's September, or click the follow button if you haven't done that yet. Maybe follow me on Instagram. I put up stuff there a couple of times a week, and that's it. Good night.